Hey, 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 beautiful souls. Welcome back to Self Centered, the Yellow Pill podcast, where we're all about putting you at the center of your universe. I'm your host, Sheena, from Style by Sheena and the creator of Lifestyle by Sheena. And today we're going to be diving into something that's really going to shake you to your core. And that's the very, very important thing that we need to focus on, and that is self-awareness. Okay, now before you roll your eyes and think, not more self-help talk, let me tell you, this isn't just your average chat about getting to know yourself. Nope. We're about to dig deep, get real, and uncover why self-awareness is the ultimate key to happiness, especially when it comes to your relationships and personal growth. And trust me, what you're about to hear might just blow your mind, so definitely stay tuned for this episode. Okay, so we're first going to focus on the shocking truth about self-awareness and how this is going to open your mind. All right, let's start with a little truth bomb. Most people think they're self-aware. It gets deeper than that. In fact, studies show that around 95% of people believe they know themselves pretty well. But this is the kicker. Only about 10 to 15% of us actually are self-aware. That's right. The majority of people are walking around with their heads in the clouds, not really thinking, but thinking that they've got themselves all figured out, when in reality, not so much. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're not as self-aware as you think, you might be sabotaging your own happiness without even realizing it. And you might be stuck in patterns that don't serve you, repeating mistakes in your relationships over and over again, and holding yourself back from the life that you truly want and the life that you truly deserve. But don't worry, we're honestly going to change all that today. All right, so what we're going to do is break down self-awareness, and we're going to start by saying and figuring out what self-awareness is. So, okay, let's go ahead and break it down. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is more than just knowing your favorite color or recognizing that you like coffee with 2 sugars or even a splash of almond milk. It's about understanding your emotions, what triggers you, your strengths, and your weaknesses, and acknowledging every single one of these things. And sometimes it's hard for us to understand our emotions, identify our triggers, focus on our strengths, and improve on our weaknesses. It's about knowing what makes you tick, and most importantly, it's about knowing what ticks you off. Imagine you're driving a car, but you're only looking in the rearview mirror. You're going to crash, right? You're going to crash. Self-awareness is like taking your eyes off the rearview and focusing on the road ahead. It's about being present, understanding why you do the things you do, and making conscious choices that align with who you actually are, who you really are. But this is where it gets interesting and actually a little shocking. Self-awareness isn't just about what you know, it's about what you're willing to face. It's about looking at the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, the things that make you uncomfortable, and even sometimes the parts of yourself that you wish weren't there. It's about owning your flaws, your mistakes, your insecurities, and also using these things as tools for growth. So yeah, I know it's not always easy to be self-aware, but trust me, it's going to be worth it in the long run. When you're truly self-aware, you're not just reacting to life, you're creating it. You're in the driver's seat, steering your life in the direction you want to go. Yes, you, Y-O-U, instead of letting it be driven by autopilot, which a lot of times we do because we're just going through the motions. And this leads us into why self-awareness is also the key to happiness. Because when you focus on the you and what makes you tick, what triggers you, what makes you happy, then you're finding the key to your happiness. So I think that self-awareness is crucial to your happiness, because even if you start with relationships, you know that saying, you can't love someone else until you love yourself. It's true, but let's take a step further. You can't truly connect with someone else until you've honestly connected with yourself. And I mean truly connected. Think about it. If you don't understand your own emotions, how can you expect to navigate someone else's? If you don't know your own boundaries, how can you enforce them in a relationship? If you don't know them, then they don't exist. So you can't really get what you want when you don't know what you want. So self-awareness allows you to show up as your authentic self, communicate your needs clearly, and create healthy, fulfilling relationships. Knowing self is the foundation for knowing anyone else. So we're going to talk about personal growth. Honestly, you can read all the self-help books in the world. I've read a ton. You can attend workshops. You can meditate until you float off the ground. But if you're not self-aware, it's all just noise. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth, primarily because it helps you identify what's holding you back and what you need to work on. It's really the key to breaking old patterns, healing past wounds, and becoming the best version of yourself. Okay, so is your mind blown yet? Okay, here's the real kicker. When you're self-aware, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your worth based on someone else's success, their looks, their Instagram followers. Anything that you can compare will be the thief of your joy. You got to realize that your journey is unique. Your journey. Your pace is perfect, and your path is exactly what it needs to be. And that is the secret sauce to happiness. Accepting yourself, flaws and all, no matter what they may be, and being at peace with where you are right now at this current moment. You may be asking, so how do I become more self-aware? Well, it's not like you wake up one morning and suddenly you're enlightened and you feel good and everything is perfect. No, self-awareness is really a journey. It's not a destination. It's not somewhere you end up. It's something that you continuously work through. It's something that starts with a willingness to look within. So we got a couple tips here to get you started. Okay, first thing that you're going to need to do is ask yourself the tough questions. When something goes wrong in your life, instead of blaming others, ask yourself, what role did I play in this? The I is capital and it's very important. It's not about beating yourself up. Accepting yourself is not about beating yourself up. It's about understanding your part in any situation in your life so that you can learn from it. Another tip to get you started is to pay very close attention to your emotions. Because if you think of it like this, your emotions are like a GPS. They're constantly giving you signals about what's going on inside and where you're going, where your feelings are going. Don't ignore them. When you feel angry, sad, or anxious, ask yourself why. What triggered that emotion? What does it tell you about your needs and your boundaries? Another tip would be to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, this is something I've had to do when I deal with anxiety. I've had to push myself to the point of always being uncomfortable. But I've been putting myself in situations where I'm forced to address why I'm uncomfortable and make myself do things that I don't feel comfortable doing. So I just think self-awareness means facing parts of yourself that you might not like. But the thing is, those uncomfortable parts are where your greatest growth lies. And this is no lie. I've been experiencing so much growth by leaning into the discomfort, doing it, and exploring those feelings to see what they teach me. You also have to be sure that you practice mindfulness, Being present in the moment helps you become more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's about observing yourself without judgment and understanding how your mind works. So it's really taking the time, sitting back, and understanding that the way that you think is based on experiences that you've had over time. And sometimes they can make you think and feel certain ways. And understanding that helps you see yourself through your own eyes, honestly. And I would also recommend to start this self-awareness journey is reflect regularly. I'm talking about daily if you can. Take time to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and the way you feel. Journaling is a good way to do this. Just ask yourself each day, what did I learn about myself? And how did you show up in your relationships? And also be sure to ask yourself what you can do tomorrow differently. And this will keep you on a path of growing, and it will actually increase your growth in your journey through enlightenment. It's not like something that you speed through. It's something that takes time. So you just have to be patient with yourself and focus on the growth over time, because it's the small wins that make the big difference. Now, I know this all seems pretty deep, and it's like heavy, but the rewards are worth it in the long run, because the way you see the world, the way you feel the world, the way you move through the world is so important for having the best possible experience in this lifetime. And that's what we're here for. You're in control of your happiness. You're in control of your growth. You're in control of your relationships. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. When you're self-aware, you're the creator of your reality. Okay, before we wrap things up, I've got something special for all of you self-love seekers out there. If you're ready to take your journey to the next level, then you'll need to check out my book, The Self-Love Letter. It's your ultimate guide to falling in love with yourself, flaws and all, and it's available right now at theselfloveletter.com. This book is packed with powerful exercises and prompts, heartfelt advice, and inspiring stories that will help you reconnect with your true self and live a life full of love and authenticity. So if you're serious about your self-love journey, head over to theselfloveletter.com and grab your copy today. Trust me, your future self will thank you. All right, beautiful souls, we've covered a lot today, but here's the bottom line. Self-awareness is the foundation of everything. It's the key to happiness, to healthy relationships, and to personal growth. It's not always easy and it's not always comfortable, but it's absolutely worth it. So I challenge you, yes you, Y-O-U, to start your self-awareness journey today. Ask yourself the tough questions. Make sure you pay attention to your emotions and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all in this together, and this community is here to support you. I'm here to support you every step of the way. So I challenge you, yes you, to start your self-awareness journey today. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Self-Centered. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who could use a little self-awareness in their life. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms at Style by Sheena and Lifestyle by Sheena for more Yellow Pill content and updates on upcoming episodes. Until next time, stay centered, stay empowered, and keep shining. You've got this. Later.